Okay, there's been a bit of coverage. Alex has talked about this over the last few weeks of Dutch farmers. Well, we have a little bit of video here now of a similar protest in Germany. This was on Monday. Huge convoy of farmers, 400 tractors rolled into Bonn, and they attempted to, or they did, surround the Federal Ministry of Agriculture that's still in Bonn, and they were protesting the EU's so-called climate policy. And this very much similar to what the Dutch farmers were doing as well. And they are absolutely in solidarity with the Dutch farmers. Signs saying things like "We're here again," "No farmers, no food, no future," "Green ideology has brought farmers to their knees," and so on. So, Alex, I don't know if you have any thoughts on this, but it's good to see people starting to take this type of action on a broader basis.
It is, and people have to bear in mind just what kind of risks the German farmers, and I've seen similar things with Belgian farmers right there outside the European Commission building in Brussels. They're taking quite some risks because these are trigger-happy countries with water cannon, a theme we'll get back to, I think, in just a couple of minutes with regard to the Netherlands, but even more so Germany and Belgium. You really can get yourself battened or shot in these countries far more readily than you would in Britain or most English-speaking countries. So it shows that they're at the end of their tether. And one of the display messages displayed on the rear of one of those tractors that you played just now said, "Please bear with us. We'd rather be at home right now as well." And of course they would, but they see no option but to get out on the streets. But if we go to the next country to the east, Poland, we have in a different, a more geopolitical frame, more indications of the unhappiness on the old continent of Europe. The Warsaw Voice, an organ for readers of English, following Polish news, reports that the deputy speaker of the lower house of parliament, the same Ryszard Terlecki, has written an opinion piece in a newspaper accusing a German-dominated Brussels bureaucracy of imposing its selfish interests on the entire European Union. So this isn't just any old senior politician. This man is the leader of the governing faction, so the equivalent of the majority leader in the Sejm, the Polish lower chamber. And the same article goes on to criticize NATO in fairly similar terms to what I shall be doing in Govern this evening. But he's predicting the accelerated disintegration of the EU. That's actually the majority leader of a parliament in an EU member state, a very substantially populous one as well. Moving further east, we've now got up another of the podcasts that I recorded on location in Armenia earlier this summer. This one is with Karnik Sarkisyan, who at one stage had the title of Prime Minister of the Government in Exile, so a government, a body claiming a territory which it doesn't have access to, but a legal right to. He was the Government in Exile Prime Minister of Armenia, and he's gone on to have a very much more rounded and philosophical view of why his people, the Western Armenians in what's now Eastern Turkey, have never been allowed to have a state. And so we go into a lot of detail on that. And I think if you tap that again, you will bring up a map showing there we are, that President Woodrow Wilson of the United States and all the powers victorious in the recently finished First World War agreed with the Armenian delegation and agreed it at the Treaty of Sèvres in 1920 that Armenia should look like that. And as Karnik Sarkisyan put it, the fingers of Britain before and after that event made sure that they didn't get what they were promised. So this is of quite major significance, I would say, and of interest to people not just who want to follow Middle Eastern history, but who want to know just how Britain does things in the world through its soft power right now.
And we should just say that's on the UK Column website at the moment.
It is, and it's also available directly on SoundCloud. If people want to subscribe, that's soundcloud.com/UK Column. The channel name for that is UK Column Live, which is perhaps confusing to some, but you'll find that as an embed if you go to the front page, ukcolumn.org. And here is the Dutch report I alluded to a moment ago from the Algemeen Dagblad. People may recall the footage, we won't show it again, of a Czech young lady who happened to be standing on top of a concrete feature overlooking a car park when there was protests verging on a riot in Eindhoven in January. This young lady, Denisa, got a direct hit with a water cannon, and it's only taken nearly 9 months, but the Algemeen Dagblad is reporting that there is going to be prosecution of that female police officer who directed the water cannon at her. The public prosecutor, the OM in the Netherlands, at the moment, rather controversially, is only seeking to move charges of assault against that policewoman rather than attempted murder, which is what you get if you did it yourself with a high-pressure water jet or a boot in someone's face. But the Dutch Police Union, as usual, is saying even this is rather irritating. I think that's the word they've actually used from sources I've seen, and it sends the wrong signal. So they're living on another planet, that police federation, but they're not the only country where the police union is like that.